To approve installment credit with John Deere Financial. Some restrictions apply. See dealer for details.
Ocala's information station, 1370 WOCA.
Ocala.
All right, 6 minutes after 11 o'clock. Thank you for tuning in. You know, just because you moved to Florida doesn't mean you're not going to get the flu.
That's right.
Just because you moved out of the cold into the warmer state, trust me, I've lived here long enough. I've had the flu more than once. And if you don't want to get the flu, well, there's the flu vaccine, of course. And sometimes, you know, you bring that subject up. Tomorrow you're going to be with family. There's going to be somebody in your family who's an expert on everything. You know, we all have the know-it-alls in our family, right?
That's right.
And they're going to tell you what they know about the vaccines. Well, we have somebody right now to educate us. And gosh, he's got an appropriate name for a doctor. And I'm sure he's heard that before. Dr. Ken Redcross is a board-certified internal medicine doctor. He's a concierge doctor. He's the founder of Redcross Concierge, and he's going to give us the 7 common flu symptoms and the ultimate flu survival pack.
Yeah.
I'm all ears with this one. I just sneezed just before we went on the air, believe it or not.
You did.
Yeah, I hope I don't have something.
I am here at the right time. Perfect timing. Hi, Larry. Hi, Robin. How are you?
Good morning,
Hi.
Doctor. And my first thing is, I am so sorry you had to wait through such a long commercial break there, but that's the way it goes sometimes. Thank you for...
No, that's okay. You know, I learned so much about John Deere and hay and so forth. I don't get that stuff in New York City, so I actually enjoyed it.
There you go.
Is that where you are in New York City?
I am.
Oh, my
Nice.
goodness. Well,
I love that city.
You know, you're in a city where public transportation must be one of the main reasons people catch the flu. I'm sure if you're on that subway, because I live there, I grew up there, so I'm guessing when you're that close to everybody that you don't know, you could get the flu real easy, right?
Oh, yeah, you're so right. And as you already know, I mean, we're talking about subway trains, we're talking about cabs, we're talking about buses. You're absolutely right. We tend to be in almost a petri dish, if you will. So New York City is not the place to be if you want to avoid the flu.
But you know what? Even like at the grocery stores here, this is a small town, but we still bump against each other. So you go to the grocery store, and they all have these little hand wipes to get the germs off of the handle of the shopping cart.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I always think that's a great idea, you know, because who knows who touched it before you, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I wish I would have thought about it. We could have all come together and patented it or something. But
Yeah, right.
I did as well.
Well, you've got a great name. If you patent anything, people will buy it right away.
Oh, I know. Yeah, it definitely helps. It's funny that everyone thinks I've made my name up, especially when I used to practice in L.A. and Beverly Hills, where everybody there, all the entertainers, changed their name. I say, no, God, I promise, this is heaven sent.
That's funny.
This is my last name.
Is a person able to, once they feel some of the symptoms coming on, to take some kind of medication to prevent it from being the full-blown flu, or once it starts, you just have to deal with it?
Well, it depends. I mean, number one, the most important thing is to confirm that it is the flu. You can't really do that unless you come in and see your doctor, and for us to do a little kit to see if it actually is influenza. If that is, in fact, the case, then we can take some antivirals, but it's so important to get in and see us with the first 1 to 2 days that you come down with it.
So the topic today is about vaccines, correct?
Yes.
So, are there anything we need to know? Like, if I drive right now, probably not even a mile, I'll probably pass a couple of pharmacies that have a sign outside that say vaccines now available.
Mm-hmm.
Is that that good enough? Just go into one of those places?
Well, you know, I'd prefer you come in and see us, only because you know what you're, in a sense, what you're getting when you see your physician. Now, some of the larger retailers, like CVS and whichever pharmacies you guys may have down in your neck of the woods, they're all reputable as well, but I just would prefer that you stay closer to the medical community, that's closest to your doctor. I just prefer that.
Yeah, that makes sense, doesn't it? Yeah.
It does.
So tomorrow I'm going to hang out with some of my relatives, and there might be one or two that know more than the doctor knows, even though they're not doctors.
That's right.
We all have them. We all have them in our family, me included.
Oh, man.
Gosh.
Well, your whole family is a Red Cross.
The whole family full of Red Crosses that know it all.
So tell me, well, give me some ammunition. What can I say when they say, the flu is what's going to get you sick? The shot, I mean, the vaccine is what's going to give you the flu.
Well, and that's one of those kind of fallacies that we always hear about the flu shot. I think it's important for everyone to understand that the flu shot is an inactivated virus. Therefore, it's already been killed. So there's nothing in that shot that can actually come back to life and cause you to get the flu. Now, can you have some symptoms like a little bit of achiness at the site or a little bit of what feels like you're coming down with something? Absolutely, because your body realizes that something foreign has been introduced in it and it thinks to itself, should I fight this or not? So you may feel something like that, but by no means is it the flu. So I don't want everyone out there to worry about that or to avoid the flu shot because of that.
But isn't that how the vaccine works, is that the body fights it?
Well, when we introduce that, even though it's an inactivated virus, if I were to draw everyone a picture there, if you can imagine, let's just say a square, and let's say that there's a little squiggly line in that square, and if I take that squiggly line out, that's the virus that is not going to be able to get you sick because we removed it. But you still have the square. So when your body gets that, we are in a sense of trying to fool our body into thinking that it's seeing the flu so that we make antibodies against it or cells for us to fight it.
Okay.
That's where the flu vaccine is coming into play there, but not the active virus in a sense that we kind of removed from my example in that square.
How long does it last?
Well, it's a great question. That's a tough one because sometimes we do better than other times at getting a good flu vaccine or actually focusing on the exact strain of virus that's kind of out there. That's why you'll get some people who come to my office and says, Doc, I got the flu shot, but I don't really feel so great. I think I have the flu again. And unfortunately, it's quite possible that we didn't get the flu shot that covered the bacteria, the virus that they had to see me.
Well, you also equate flu readiness with being ready for hurricanes. You don't wait till the last minute.
Yeah, and you guys in that neck of the woods definitely understand when hurricane season comes. And the reason why I liken it to the flu is because when hurricane season comes, we do two things. We prepare and we stockpile. And that's exactly what we should do with some of the things that I'm bringing here today. My practice is a practice that's very much centered around holistic or natural alternatives when you've already gotten the flu, not just something that you can get by a prescription pad that I can give you.
Okay, so you just mentioned something I was always wondering about. If I had the flu, am I set for the whole year? Did my body automatically take care of me?
Well, your body took care of at least the strain that you were exposed to. I mean, don't forget that we do our best to pinpoint it. You may get a vaccine that'll cover you for strain A, B, and C, but it doesn't mean that E, F, and G isn't kind of on the way as well. And so that's why I say it's important that no matter what, the CDC says that no matter what we do, we're all going to get 2 to 3 colds or flu-like symptoms throughout the season. So that's why I figured it was so important for all of us to kind of come together and at least be prepared for what feels like the inevitable.
And Larry's the one that introduced me to zinc, and that's on your list of surviving.
It is. I love zinc. Zinc itself is an important mineral for the immune system. And so, therefore, it could only make sense that when you are trying to fight off this infection, that you could use the zinc to actually boost up your immune system again. There's at least 18 or 19 studies out there that talk about the benefits of zinc and of benefiting you and getting better quicker with that. So that's why I had to add that to my kit, Robin.
So the flu is not necessarily the cold. It's two different things, right?
They're actually different. They're tough when you come to our office because they can have some similar symptoms, right? We can get the low-grade temperatures. We can get the cough, the runny nose, sometimes the chills and fatigue. The way that I separate the two is when I have a patient who has those symptoms and they say, Doc, I have these horrible body aches as well, that's what starts to clue me into a little bit more than just a typical cold. But you're right, Larry, they're definitely different. The flu tends to be that cold-type symptoms to where it just has you knocked out, like you just cannot recover. So everyone kind of, in a sense, feels the difference, but you're right, they can have some things that are quite similar, but those body aches are what kind of tipped me off that we may be dealing then a little bit more than the cold.
All right, so tomorrow we're going to be hanging out. Aunt Martha's going to be there. I always get a cold from Aunt Martha.
Yeah.
If I get the vaccine today, will I be prepared for tomorrow, or does it take longer than that to work?
Oh, No, unfortunately, Aunt Martha would get you sick because it takes a few days before seeing Aunt Martha to protect you. Usually about 4 or 5 days ahead of time.
Okay.
So that's why you want to be proactive in getting your vaccine for when you are exposed, because unfortunately it doesn't work immediately. That would be great, but don't forget, we're talking about your body building an antibody response or an immune response, so that takes our body a little bit of time.
We are out of time. Speaking of time, Dr. Ken Redcross, thank you for being on the air with us. Before we say goodbye, give our listeners and us a website that'll help us out with more information.
Yes, so my website is drredcross.com, and you can also reach me on Twitter as well, and please feel free to go to my site and talk about some of the other important things that will help you be flu ready, like Oscillo and a probiotic, which I'd love to talk about more sometime on my site.
Thank you, Doctor. Have a great Thanksgiving.
Thank you. You too.
All right, we'll be right back.
UC.com. Safe boating is no accident. For today, breezy with variable cloudiness and a brief shower or two, especially this afternoon, the high 75 to 79. Partly to mostly cloudy tonight. There may be a brief shower in spots, low 61 in a few inland spots, but about 71 along the coast. For Thanksgiving Day, clouds and some sun and breezy with a brief shower or two, high 77 to 81. Friday, partly sunny.